The fourth team workout is a team workout for time. It's 75 back squats, 50 pull-ups, 25 shoulder to overhead, 75 front squats, 50 pull-ups, 25 shoulder to overhead, and 75 overhead squats, 50 pull-ups, 25 shoulder to overhead with descending weights.
For the back squat, we need to see the athlete clearly break parallel on the descent and stand all the way back up to hip and knee extension at the top of the movement. Some common faults when performing the back squat include not hitting full hip extension. This is especially common when you're doing these repetitions quickly, so make sure you take the time to stand up. At the top of every repetition, the lifter must be in control of the barbell before beginning the next rep. That's a no rep. Another common fault in the back squat is not achieving the proper depth. Remember, we must see the hip pass visibly below parallel for the rep to count. This is especially true when these repetitions are happening fast. Take the time to stand up all the way. For the front squat, we must see the athlete pass below parallel and stand back up to full hip extension, just like we saw in the back squat. That means the hips pass clearly below parallel at the bottom, and we see hip and knee extension at the top. On the first repetition, a squat clean is acceptable. On your last repetition, make sure you stand all the way up to extension before bringing the barbell back down. That's a no rep. For the overhead squat, we must see the athlete pass below parallel and stand up to full hip and knee extension, just like we saw in the other squat variations. This means the hip crease passes clearly below the knee, and we see full hip and knee extension at the top of each rep. The athlete must start and finish the repetition with locked out shoulders and elbows. The barbell must be over the middle of the athlete's foot at the top of each rep. On the first repetition, a squat snatch is acceptable. Some common faults for the overhead squat include not standing all the way up at the top of the movement and not getting deep enough at the bottom. At the top of every repetition, the lifter must be under control before starting the next rep. On your last repetition, make sure you achieve the lockout before bringing the bar down. That's a no rep. For the shoulder to overhead, we must see the athlete start with the bar in the rack position and finish with the arms locked out and the barbell clearly over the center of the athlete's body. Any style of lift from shoulder to overhead is acceptable, including a press, push jerk, or split jerk. If you choose to split jerk, you must bring your feet back together before beginning the next repetition. The athlete may not select to use a back rack for this movement. For the kipping pull-up, the athlete must start with the arms clearly extended and finish with the chin over top of the bar. You can achieve that position anywhere as long as your chin passes above the horizontal plane of the bar. Any style of pull-up is acceptable, including a dead hang pull-up, a kipping pull-up, or a butterfly pull-up. Any grip is acceptable, including an overhand grip, an underhand grip, or a mixed grip. A common fault for the pull-up includes not achieving the full extension at the bottom of every repetition. That's a no rep. Another common fault of the pull-up is not achieving the height at the top of the pull-up. We need to see the chin pass clearly above the horizontal line that the bar creates.
On 3, 2, 1, go. The female athletes clean the bar, starting with 75 back squats. And the males act as the human rack. For the duration of the workout, it does not touch the ground again. Females then go to their 50 pull-ups. They come back to their bar where they do 25 shoulder to overhead. Once they finish their 25, they take off the outer plates. They then advance to the next station where they do 75 front squats at 65 pounds. And they switch. Once they do 75 front squats, they then go back to their 50 pull-ups. They then come back and do 25 shoulder to overhead. Once they finish 25, they then strip the outer plates to a bar that now has 45 pounds. They advance to the next station where they do 75 overhead squats. Once they finish their 75, they go back to the bar, do 50 pull-ups, finish their 50 pull-ups, come back for their final set of 25 shoulder to overhead. Once they hit 25 reps, for the first time they put the bar down, they start their 75 back squats, and the female athletes act as a human rack. Communication is key. Once they hit their 75 reps, the female athletes rack the bar and they hold it suspended. The male athletes go to their pull-up bar and they knock out 50 pull-ups. One person working at a time. Once they finish their 50, they come back over to the bar where they now do 25 shoulder to overhead. Once they finish their 25th rep on the shoulder to overhead, the team then takes off the outer weights and sets them down in this station. They now have 85 pounds, and as a team they advance to the next lane, and once in the next lane they start it over but with 75 front squats. Head back over and do 50 pull-ups. They come back, and at this point they do 25 shoulder to overhead. Once they finish the 25, they strip the weight off down to 65 pounds. They then advance to the next lane where they do 75 squats from the overhead position. Finish their 75 overhead squats and they go to their pull-ups, 50 more pull-ups. They come back where they'll do 25 shoulder to overhead. Time stops on the 25th rep.
Taking the bar from an overhead position is not allowed. The only place that your teammates can assist you in racking the bar is from the front, back, or from the hang.
If the bar hits the ground due to team fatigue, the penalty assessed will be a 1-minute stoppage during the workout. The stoppage starts once the team is back together. Once these team members get back, the judge makes everyone wait for 1 minute.